I want y'all to understand me. Hear me hard. I am from New Orleans, the city, the place where everybody seems to love all the food, but you don't really recognize what you're looking at is nothing more than glossified cafeteria food. I have never liked Mayor Cantrell. No, I will not refer to that lady as Titi. You're out of your mind. I never liked this lady. So when I found out that there was a little bit of discrepancy with the funds and what she was doing with the funds, I got happy, because that might be the thing to get my city to realize this woman is nothing more than a forefront of stupidity. When she put that Afro pick in the city, while we were the city with the most death in it, I was upset. But now it's coming out that she's defrauding the people just so that she could hide her intimate relationship.
Earlier today, a federal grand jury returned an 18-count superseding indictment charging New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell and former New Orleans Police Department officer Jeffrey Paul Vappy II. They are charged with a series of fraud, obstruction of justice, and false statement offenses for their role in a nearly 3-year fraud scheme that we allege exploited their public authority and positions. The indictment alleges that in October of 2021, Mayor Cantrell and Jeffrey Vappy, a member of her executive protection team, developed a personal, intimate relationship. From that time until Mr. Vappy's retirement in June of 2024, they embarked on a scheme to defraud the City of New Orleans and the New Orleans Police Department. By exploiting Vappy's job and Cantrell's authority as mayor to have the city and the New Orleans Police Department pay Vappy's salary and expenses during the times that Vappy claimed to be on duty, but when he was actually engaged in personal activities, usually with Ms. Cantrell, but sometimes alone at the Pontalba apartment. The indictment further describes the many steps that Cantrell and Vappy took to hide their scheme.
I'm disgusted. New Orleans Mayor Cantrell was hit with an 18-count federal indictment on Friday, accusing her of orchestrating a scheme with her bodyguard turned lover to defraud the city of more than $70,000. Cantrell and Jeffrey Vappy, a member of her executive protection unit, are charged with multiple crimes, including conspiracy to commit wire fraud, conspiracy to obstruct justice, wire fraud, obstruction of justice, and making false statements. In or around October 2021, Cantrell and Vappy developed a personal and intimate relationship. To hide their relationship from detection and to maximize their time together, Cantrell and Vappy exploited their public positions to develop and implement a scheme to defraud the city of New Orleans and the New Orleans Police Department by engaging in personal activities while Vappy claimed to be on duty and was paid for providing protection for Cantrell. As part of their scheme, the elected Democrat mayor arranged for Vappy to accompany her when she traveled outside of the state on official business and falsely claimed she needed his protection due to safety concerns. Investigators uncovered at least 14 out-of-state trips Cantrell took with Vappy to maximize their opportunities to engage in personal activities, costing the city of New Orleans thousands in travel, meal, lodging, salary, and incidental expenses Vappy charged to taxpayers, costs separate from the mayor's own travel expenses. The trips included visits to Los Angeles, Orlando, San Francisco, Washington, D.C., as well as international travel to Scotland and the United Arab Emirates. Now, I may be crazy, but I could understand going to Washington, D.C. to conduct some business. But what the fuck business does the mayor of New Orleans have in Scotland? Between February of 2022 and October of 2022 alone, Vappy and Cantrell exchanged more than 15,000 WhatsApp messages. In one message included in the charging documents, Vappy reminisced that the Scotland trip in October was where it all started. Good. Got it. We need this, Vappy messaged Cantrell in August of 2022 after the mayor said that she would arrange for him to tag along on an official trip to Washington, D.C. Boy, do we need this. The D.C. jaunt was later described by Vappy in a message to Cantrell as another great trip and also another leg on their journey. The indictment also noted that Vappy expressed that he loved Cantrell and that their physical relationship. Vappy and Cantrell are also accused of using city-owned apartments for personal use, with Vappy frequently spending time there while on duty both alone and with the mayor. Oh, these motherfuckers was in there raw dogging. They were in there getting it on with each other while the city is going through all these things. Schools ain't got enough money. They just raw dogging each other while my city is in shambles. Aware of their conduct and how it violated rules, policies, and criminal laws, Cantrell and Vappy attempted to distract and impede inquiries and investigations, including a federal grand jury investigation about the true nature and circumstances of their relationship and their scheme to defraud. They did this by using an encrypted messaging platform, intimidating and punishing subordinates, lying to colleagues and advisors, making false public pronouncements, harassing a private individual who took pictures of them in public together, deleting electronic evidence, making false statements to federal law enforcement agents, authorizing an affidavit signed under oath and penalty of perjury containing false information, and testifying falsely while under oath before a federal grand jury. I need y'all to hear me. That this brings a smile to my face because I have despised this woman for her efforts in my city for the longest of times. And now that I'm free from the shackles of the entire state known as the boot, I can look back and say, maybe I could move back to the city. Maybe if they get rid of this mayor, I will find comfort in my home, because for the longest time, I could not stand living there. And knowing that our leader, our person to turn to with all the issues in the city, was putting on a nice little smile, putting on nice little PR campaigns. And the whole time, while the cost of living is going up and people are struggling to figure out where their next meal is going to come from and figuring out how they're going to navigate all the things going on in that city, she's just in there just fucking raw dogging to somebody and thinking that that's the greatest thing under the sun. I want her out. I don't want her to be the mayor of my city anymore. And she could try any of these great PR statements to try to get us off the case, but I want this investigated. I want her found out, and I want her out so that my city could maybe one day prosper, even though we have the worst football team known to man.